Hello. Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein in the Road to 100, where today we are here in the City of the Falling Flame. And the interesting thing about this place is that if you, well, typically when you get here, right, you go for fire defense and you go for ice damage, right? That makes a lot of sense. You're in a fireplace, you want to go for ice damage. However, there is an alternate that you can go for, which is very, very fast, and it is going for blood damage and going for Bloodshot, Dusk Edge, and Execution all at the same time. Now we're going to be running Queen's Ribcage here with a fairly decent dark value here of 1531, which is pretty good. And we're going to have a ton of Ichor recovery on Backstab, so almost 20 Ichor on the Backstab. And we're going to be running the Ice Blood because this has the words ice and blood in the name. And since we're talking about alternatives to ice as being blood, so this kind of makes sense, but it also is of the Devour version. So we are going to have very, very fast casting of these guys, and everything is on a 2-second cooldown. So if we use kind of liberally our slashing gifts here, we should be able to do tons and tons and tons of damage. So, and since we have 0 fire resist, every time we get focused, we'll get 300 health, and we will get 5% of our health on every backstab and parry or charge drain. So as we go along, just watch for how quickly the enemies are dispatched, as it will be fairly quick. However, as you can see, going across the fire there does indeed damage us, as most of the time that is not the case. We are inside the dead zone, or where, oh, whoops, or where the, that was a lot of damage that took off. We're inside the dead zone with that guy, where the slash gifts become effective, and that is the biggest problem that we have running right now, is the fact that all of these slash gifts will, you know, have some kind of a dead zone there that we will have to watch for. Okay. And let's try for another backstab. We are still in the flames, and we are, ouch, we are dying to the fire. Okay. Yep, more fire death. Okay. And if we are capable to not step on the flames and die a horrible, horrible death, we will be okay running this entire setup here. As you see, because it doesn't cost us very, very much Ichor to actually spend what we have here and everything, we are able to keep up with our Ichor count very, very, very nicely. Now, even though we don't have the fire resist here, we have incredible actual physical resistances here. So that is very, 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 very nice. Now, fighting Emily is going to be a very, very difficult fight for once. Typically it's not, and but this time it will definitely be a fight, just because of the fact that we are not going to be invincible, and we actually have to play her the right way. So let's just go ahead and skip these guys and go for that 5% backstab here. And let's go for a quick drain for another 5% health, so we can walk away with 10% health, which extra, which is pretty nice. And as you can see, we have just tons of Ichor every time we get a backstab, and blood slash, and or actually blood overall is doing fairly well for what we need it to do, which is really, really great. That there are alternatives to running ice inside the City of the Falling Flame, and the fact is that these are pretty quick casts overall, and so we're able to actually use all of our gifts all the time, and especially when we get backstabs and such. Okay, as you'll see here, watch our Ichor count. We have about 17, which is great. Okay. And you can see, whoops, I was gonna say you can see that we have a very fast, oh good grief, a pretty quick cast count of gifts, and we can cycle through those slash gifts and everything fairly quickly actually, and we're able to get through all of our gifts over and over and over, which is pretty, whoops, which is pretty nice, all things considered. Okay, we'll just make it past this fella. And even though even though Mia is going to be using ice most of the time, you can hear the blood spike gift coming out on her end. It's the like swishing sound. It's kind of like the swoosh kind of gift that she uses, and that's how you know that blood is actually pretty effective here in the City of the Falling Flame. So that's why we can get away with using only blood gifts in this area, and even for against Emily, they will be equally effective as well. So just getting through here though, having 0 fire resist is obviously not what you want to be doing, but we're doing it this way just because of the fact that that's what typically happens through here, is you come through with invincibility and you just destroy everything. But this place is actually very, 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 very dangerous if you come through in a certain method here where you don't have any fire resist of any kind. So that's what we're going to attempt to play here. Okay, and if I can get her backstab, there we go. That will bring up my health pretty considerably with our gifts here. Okay. There we go, backstab. We will cancel his flame belch there. Okay. Oh boy. There's a backstab. That'll get us a little bit of health, but you can see that it doesn't matter about our health at all, because we pretty much die all the time. There we go. But if we are able to actually get the attacks out on the boy, he does go down pretty quickly, pretty easily, pretty effectively, and that's very, very awesome that there are some pretty good alternatives to running ice through here. I'm not trying to use my sword too much, just because of the fact that it does ice damage and it does the preferred amount, or the preferred type of damage. But if we are lacking some high court, we will absolutely be using it. Okay. As we get through this second part here, it's very, very nice that we do have some long-range gifts here to ensure that we can attack the enemy before they are a threat. Okay. And this is where we need a sword weapon. We're going to die across the flames. Oh, no, not quite yet. Let's go for a backstab here. This will help us get a little bit of health. Okay, and as you see, execution doing great work there to get multi-kills. Very, very good stuff. Now I guess we could go kill ourselves in the flames and get Mia to resurrect us a little bit, but we'll just try and stay alive as best as possible. So going across the flames might kill us, almost. Can I get a backstab? Nope, we're dead. Thanks, Mia. Okay, and let's go ahead and heal up. Now Mia is going to be kind of working overtime here for us, just to get all of our health back all the time. Now these things you do not want to be doing slash damage against, so that is not preferred, but it will do well enough here for us, because we have bloodshot. We can draw these enemies towards us, whoops, and then we can take care of them with our other gifts and such. Okay, good. And now we are out of ichor completely, so we will have to do some other things here. Okay, let's go for this fella. Even though we're standing in the flames, it will be okay for us. Okay, good. Those guys are toast. Get it? Toast? Never mind. And so as you run through this area, it's it's really important that you kind of follow a pattern in how you use your gifts and when to use your gifts, because otherwise you're going to be in such a way where you don't have any ability to run your casts and such, because because you're constantly going to be engaging these guys in a bad scenario where the enemy has the upper hand and not you. Okay, and you can see there the cycle through the gifts took him down about 2/3 of the way here. Okay, there we go, and death. Okay, now the cool thing about this is you can hit these balls through the walls here. Balls through the walls. That's a fun way to say that. And so we can come and grab this guy. Okay, and very nice that Mia brought her lightning spikes as well. Now going through Emily here is going to be absolutely miserable. It will be a very tough fight, sure, just because of the fact that she will hit us once or twice, and we will be completely annihilated because our fire defense is 17. So it's pretty much 0 at this point. We have about a, let's see, it's about 10% reduction in our damage here, which is not much when they're doing, 5,000 damage. Then they're doing about 4,500, which means that, you're still killed in one hit, which is not what you want to be hearing. So here we may be doing a little more weapon attacks than gifts, but overall the speed of our gifts will be very beneficial. Ouch. Just because yep, we're dead. Thank you, just because of the fact that how fast our gifts can come out, it will do pretty well here. Okay. Now the problem is getting ichor, right? Okay, and surviving. Thanks, man. Okay, let's go ahead and heal. Okay. Okay. And let's keep going. Oh boy, we're dead. Thank you, man. Okay. And one more slap. Okay, whew. Wow, that was pretty intense there with Emily, but you can see that the blood weapons here, the blood gifts that we have, they actually do really well, even though we don't have any fire resistance. And Mia keeping us alive there gave us just enough time in between to de-aggro and re-aggro Emily into different positions and different directions. So because the execution gift acts as an AoE in a sense, you can hit her from pretty much anywhere because her hitbox is big enough that when the blades come down over top, and right there at that moment in time, you can see that there's a like an aura kind of around the blades here, and you're hitting for not just right here in this middle section where the blades are coming down, but you're actually hitting in like a hemisphere in front of you in a kind of interesting fashion. But right about here is a dead zone where you will miss the enemy altogether. And you can see the color change here, where it's like right here at the sweet spot distance. Right about here, here's a dead zone, and out here in front, you can also hit, but it's more of an AoE collected type of hit. So execution is absolutely incredible. You can hit enemies anywhere along this slash trajectory as well. And so if there are enemies out here, kind of on the side, and execution hits them on the way down, it's active from the moment the blades come out behind you until they hit the ground in an AoE fashion. So execution is pretty good, and using it here in the City of the Falling Flame makes it even better, because you don't really get a lot of areas um, that actually are very, very nice in order to use this gift, and so being able to use it here is an extra treat for me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the quick gifts here in the City of the Falling Flame, and even though we didn't have fire resistance of almost any kind, we were able to win the day. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for another stream. Have a good one.